floor. I'm gonna make it. Wait, this isn't the next floor. It looks like a library. Does that mean I'm still... Ah!
It is time for your demise. Prepare your essence for its deconstruction.
Ah! Please don't hurt me. I was only exploring. I heard the legends. I only wanted to see if they were true.
Legends cannot compare to the horror of your departure from this plane. I shall teach you. No! Make it stop!
There was a time long ago before the transformation, before the carnage, before I roamed these halls in search of souls to steal. I was but a simple bellboy, tasked with providing stellar service and appeasing each and every one of our guests' demands. It's hard to imagine, but this hotel was once a glamorous vacation getaway for the wealthy. It hosted only the richest, most esteemed patrons and was viewed as the pinnacle of class. But of course, such a reputation attracts a certain set of customers. I was mistreated by our guests, to say the least. They were all terribly mean and demanding. Whether I was scrubbing their floors or primping their pillows, nothing I did ever seemed to be enough. It was humiliating on a daily basis, degrading even. I was yelled at constantly, and when it wasn't yelling, it was laughing. I've lost count of all the times I was intentionally embarrassed by guests purely for their amusement. It doesn't matter how ridiculous, petty, or dangerous it was. No matter the request, it was my job as a bellboy to serve in silent enthusiasm. The worst was getting luggage up to their rooms. We had an elevator, of course, but that was for guests only. I had to take the stairs every time. If any bellboy was caught using an elevator, they would be fired on the spot. How did they tip? You might be wondering. With such deep pockets, you'd think they'd be generous, but you'd be wrong. They had as much money in their wallets as they had hate in their hearts, but I never saw a dime. That being said, the guest torment was the least of your concerns if you made a mistake. You see, the hotel provided us bellboys with food in addition to a meager monthly pay. It definitely wasn't anything special, but if a guest made any sort of complaint about you, you didn't get anything. And on hungry nights, you'd give about anything for just one bite of that disgusting slop. But despite all the torment I experienced as a bellboy, there was a lone silver lining: the tranquil majesty of the hotel library. There were shelves upon shelves of books, stacked to the ceiling, with not a price tag to be found. I spent countless nights in that library, filling my mind with all that my life lacked: riches, adventure, glory. It was an escape from the guests, from the management, from the hunger. But escape is only temporary. You see, it wasn't long after my discovery of the library that its books began to cause trouble. I'd been showing up late, I'd be neglecting guests. I often disappeared for hours on end to hide among the bookshelves. But my greatest sin of all was provoking the ire of one Thatcher T. Pennybags, owner and proprietor of the very hotel that housed, clothed, and sometimes fed me. My fate was in his hands, and he knew it. He was smart, you have to give him credit for that. He knew immediately how to hurt me the most. I must have served 10,000 guests, each one seemingly more wretched than the last. But Pennybags, he was worse than all of them combined. He took away the one thing that I still loved about the hotel. The one thing that kept me going. The library. The books. All because he knew what it would do to me. It still makes me sick to think about. He was evil. There's no other word for it. Inflicting his cruelty onto me. His lowly employee seemed to be the only way the man knew to express joy. From that day forward, I knew I wasn't going to let him or any of those awful guests push me around ever again. I didn't care what they did to me. I would make them pay. Sometimes it's hard to explain what that change was, but I wasn't taking smack from anybody anymore. That was for sure. I wasn't going to be played with like that. I hated the hotel, I hated the guests, but most of all I hated Thatcher T. Pennybags. So I made a plan. I was going to sneak into the library under the cloak of night and steal as many books as I could carry. I knew that eventually I'd probably be caught, but I didn't care. I had my heart set on taking back what was rightfully mine. And after all, the consequences were unforeseeable. Come on! What the? Oh my God! What? No! Open up! Open up! Don't hurt me, please! Huh? Where did that creature go? Mr. Pennybags? What's going on here?
What's going on is that you were trying to break into my library. And now you're going to pay.
Let me go! One might think, given the sadistic nature of Pennybags' essence, that this was a crime committed out of hatred. But there was another reason to dispose of me. With how long I spent in that library, it was only a matter of time before I stumbled upon his secret. The key to his power, to his business success. It was all thanks to that book. He spilled his thoughts into its pages, most of them hateful. And for every hateful word he wrote, the power of the book increased. The book reflected its author, and its power grew darker and darker as Pennybags' hate was impressed upon it. Letting it fall into someone else's hands could undo everything he worked for. In his twisted mind, he had to get rid of me, and death wasn't an option. He needed something even more permanent. He turned me into a specter, a lost soul trapped between the human world and the afterlife, down to the grounds of this hotel. The chains of the crucifix burned like hot fire. My hate had made me strong. With all the strength I could muster, I fought back and was able to break free.
What? This is impossible!
After that, well, there's no other way to say it. I went on a rampage. I had my revenge against Pennybags, sure, but I also haunted those guests, and I'd do it again. I scared them so bad most of them were gone before checkout. And without Pennybags, the remaining staff soon left after. I put the book back where it belonged and retired myself to feasting on curious but unlucky adventurers such as yourself.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Sorry? You're sorry? You shall be the one who is sorry, you miserable whelch! Do you bring me here to mock me? To make me relive it all? It's this, your mortal idea of jest? If you don't remember, I'm too powerful to be conquered by your puny crucifix. It didn't work for that cheapskate Pennybags, and it's not going to work for you either.